what's up everybody? Sleepy Ellis here. Thanks again for watching and welcome to my new subscribers. If you're new to my channel, I'm trying to bring you cryptocurrency news in an entertainment kind of way, so it's easy for you to digest. So I was thinking that it's been a while since I've shot a video in my own car, because last year of course I needed to go from here, there and everywhere, but since I'm not working anymore nowadays, but needed to go on a kraamvisite. I will look up the English word later. I had some time to drive in my car again. So today guys, it has been a massacre, the last days. And I just want to say a couple of things, because it has never been as busy as the last days lately, because a lot of people are afraid and are in fear of what is happening. And of course I can imagine that you feel that way, but I must say, and I'm gonna emphasize this again, first of all, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just a hobby investor. Do your own research and make your own decisions. So, first of all, if you had bought Bitcoin when it was 20k, the way I always, let's say, give my opinion or suggestions, of which you then of course need to determine based on your own decision whether you would do the same, yes or no. I'm always saying, whenever you invest, don't invest more than you can afford to lose. So I also asked the question, are you in this for a short term or for a long term? Are you here to make a quick buck, or are you ready to keep it for a while? The other thing that I always say to my friends and family that wants to step into this, I always say, like, if the money that you have invested is gone today, so you flush it down the toilet, would you be concerned about it? If the answer is no, then it's the money that you have spent and that you can afford to lose, right? So why are you calling me these days that is going wrong with the market? So it seems that you have invested too much then. If you are whining now that the price had dropped, do you hear me whining? I lost a 7-figure number, guys, in dollars, huh? A 7-figure number, come on. Do you hear me? No. But yeah, you are already in profit. No, that just means that I took the responsibility for myself not to cash out at the top and take responsibility for the 7-figure number that I've lost during these days, right? But yeah, is this the end? Is this the end? Well, we have seen these situations earlier in the past, not so deep as this correction right now, or this crash, because the previous crashes went deeper. But I must say again, if you believe in the technology long term, then you know that this might be one of the last opportunities to see the price of Bitcoin at this low point, and other coins maybe as well, before we go to the next leg up, in my opinion, purely based on what has happened in the past. Then also again, still, people that are saying that the bubble is bursting, it does not make sense that it is bursting right now, because there is so much demand waiting on the sideline to get in, from an institutional perspective and from a retail investor perspective, right? Okay, if you look at it from a relative perspective, you might say a market of 300 billion or 800 billion or 275 billion is big. But if we compare it to the dot-com bubble, for instance, right? The dot-com bubble was a bubble of 6 trillion, yeah? 800 million, 6 trillion, 6,000 billion, right? So with 6,000 billion market, we are now only at the 800, well now, at this point of time, when the bubble burst. We are now at, what is it, 375 billion. There is still so much room for growth. And what we can also learn from history is that, you know, records are always going to be broken. So the dot-com bubble was 6 trillion. Keeping in mind that back then there was 3 times less money supply in the world, and it was only, let's say, on the American stock exchange where it really blew out, and then of course it cascaded down to other markets. But cryptocurrencies is global. There is 3 times as much money in circulation. So my speculation, and who am I? You know, I'm just a hobby investor. I speculate that whenever the bubble will burst, that it will be around 24 trillion. And still, I don't know if you have seen my interview or the episode of Crush the Street where I was interviewed for the second time. I was giving a forecast or prediction of Bitcoin by the end of 2018 of $141,176, and I still believe it's feasible. Might I lose my credibility maybe if I'm not correct? My opinion is that whenever analysts or whatever, speculators do an estimation, 9 out of 10 times they are afraid to, how do you say it, have it on the wrong end, so and to lose reputation. I'm like, I don't care. I mean, what the hell? It's just a prediction, right? So I think we still can get to that 4 trillion. That means that if we have a Bitcoin of 141,176, so I made this prediction last year. Last year the Bitcoin dominance was at 61% or so. So if you let's say take the full cryptocurrency market cap and take the dominance of Bitcoin, add it up all together, you should be around a 4 trillion market cap. And then if you look at the growth of last year, when it was 34 times, a 4 trillion market cap is not even near that, right? So these were just the thoughts that I wanted to give with you today, just to take responsibility for your actions. Don't stress out. I mean, you knew the rationales for yourself, or to make the decision for yourself to get in. You were investing money that you were not, I would say that you could afford to lose. You could take profits when it was on the high end. If you did not take responsibility that it went down right now, and you know, you haven't lost any money until you have sold your cryptocurrencies, huh? So until that time, of course, nothing is wrong as long as you hold. So, oh yeah, and by the way, I wanted to get back to that, of course, but also what is important to know is how long will it take? I don't know. But what I know is that we had negative news coming from a regulatory perspective from different countries. We had the Bitfinex Tether thing that is going on right now, which in my opinion can still be a big problem whenever that develops further. But you know what we needed? We needed some good news in these bad times. And I think yesterday the things that happened in the US in the how do you say it? The hearing of the SEC, or I don't know the English word. But let's say what the SEC had announced, the people were saying only positive things in my opinion. There is no conclusion right now. At the moment, the cryptocurrency market is too small. They do not have, let's say, the manpower or the FTEs, let's say, to monitor the business due to budget constraints. So that's also a good thing. They want to, they see ICOs as securities. In my opinion, that's good from a regulatory perspective, because what is not good is that there is no certainty. Whenever there is uncertainty or doubt or fear, then of course the market goes down. But whenever there is certainty, so in the sense there is certainty right now because they have taken a stance at this point of time for cryptocurrencies, and in my opinion that was pretty positive what happened right there. And we should not forget that the US market is one of the larger markets in the business, so it will have its influence, of course. So let's see whether it will be able to take stance now after the rise of today, of course. Let's see. I'm gonna be a little bit worried whenever in the beginning of March we are still in this bearish trend. But let's see. Patience is a virtue, guys, as my friend Mark de Meesel says. So let's see. Now it's really final what I wanted to say. That's it for today. Thanks again for watching. Peace out.